Officer for San Francisco Public Works. There's only one item today on the agenda, and it is with Caltrain. And I'm presuming that there's a lot of seasoned presenters here, so I still have to go through my regular spill. I presume there's some members of the public here too that don't really know how these hearings usually proceed. You can't hear me? Is there anyone else who cannot hear me? Because I can hear my echo quite a lot through the room here. I can speak up a little if you have a hearing problem. Again, my name is Boris Deunert. I'm the hearing officer with San Francisco Public Works. Kim Stevens is the clerk for the hearing. The hearing is being recorded, and I know that Kim already went around and asked you to actually sign in at the sign-in sheet. So if you haven't done so, please sign in. That is for us a means of knowing that you actually were here, and if we have your information to contact you if we need to. Today we're going to have one hearing item on the agenda, which is to consider a request for a major encroachment permit for Caltrain. It is order number 202544 to consider a request from Caltrain for a major encroachment permit to construct permanent lightweight concrete fill south and north of Napoleon Street under the Caltrain Railroad Bridge within the Napoleon Street right-of-way, fronting the subject properties Block 5214 and lots 001 and 004. My job as a hearing officer is to hear your testimonies and help our Director of Public Works to make a decision. I will actually not make a decision today. So I will be just here to listen to your testimonies and then make recommendations to the director. When the director has made a determination, the department will notify you of that decision. The hearing will proceed as follows. In the beginning, I will ask a representative of Public Works to present the case. Then I will allow the proponent to speak. In this case, it would be Caltrain. Then I allow any member of the public to speak if they so wish. Then I allow the department again to speak in case there is a rebuttal or there is an opponent. And then I will ask the proponent again to speak if there should be another issue that needs to be discussed. Each speaker will have about 3 minutes to speak. There is a bell, just like the Oscars. There's a bell when you're supposed to end your speech. I actually don't hear this bell, but you should be hearing it loud and clear on your end, which is after 3 minutes. If you hear this bell, if you would please shorten. If you feel there's something else to discuss, especially if you're the proponent, you will have another opportunity to speak when I ask for you again. If it's a member of the public and you go over 3 minutes, you can also send in your remarks later on in a written form, and it will still be considered as part of this hearing. Comments and questions, just like in a court, you're supposed to direct them towards me. That means you're not directly interacting between each other, so I will be the one listening to your testimonies. Having said all that, I think we can already move forward with the first order, and at this point I'm going to ask the representative of Public Works to present the major encroachment permit application.
Okay, good morning, hearing officer. My name is Burhane Gaim with Public Work BSM permit, and I am the plan checker for this major encroachment project, which is 19ME-00019. And Caltrain's applied for a permit, and we started processing the project as usual for a typical major encroachment permit. And what we typically do is identify where the location is, and as you can see, this is Marine Street and Napoleon Street Bridge replacement per Caltrain's. And the measure specifically is at Napoleon, and we will go through. So anyway, the project itself, which Caltrain is doing repair and replacement at these two street bridges. But the major encroachment, I'm not sure if you can see this. This is basically where Napoleon is. It's very fine. And this is Marin, but the measure itself involves only a Napoleon Street project property, right of way. Just to clarify some more, this is Napoleon, and the field, which is the major encroachment, is right here. I have some other additional photos that we can go through. Just to give you an idea, this is a lot, which this is the 4 and lot number 1, and Napoleon goes through the both lots. These are some photos, and this is where the field will be happening. And on this side and the other side of the train station. Just to give you an idea, this is Highway 280 or State Bridge 280. This is the Caltrain's train railroad, and this is our right-of-way, which is Napoleon. Between here and here is Napoleon Street, or right-of-way. More photos, just to show this is the area where they're trying to do the fill. Yeah, this just additional, same thing. Right-of-way itself is from here to here, and of course, Napoleon still will have the drive-through or pass-through, but this is the area under the major encroachment in light green. And that's what we're talking about today. As usual, when we review the project, we typically refer the project to other city agencies that are affected by this project. And our office referred the project to city planning, SFMTA, which is transportation, structural within DPW, street light, public work, IDC, which is sewer, PUC sewer, and water department, just to make sure that this project does not compromise their existing facilities. And each one responded by yeah, this is more pictures, and then these are the city agencies that we refer to make sure. City planning typically approves to make sure that this complies with their planning and CEQA. SFMTA, as usual, reviews, and public work review the structure itself. And planning usually writes a letter stating that this is in compliance with the city planning general plan referral, and that's already. And SFMTA had no objection to the design or to the field that is submitted to them. Structural reviewed, and they had several revisions done, and then ultimately they approved the final design that was submitted to them. Street light, they don't have any street light within the area, but if there is, we send the developer or Caltrains that they need to contact the street light if they have to touch any of their street lights. Sewer does have, this typically is stating the same thing that they went through, and each one approved or recommended for approval. Yeah, PU's hydraulic did review the area. There is a sewer there, and then PUC, hopefully someone from PUC is here. They are discussing with JP already to work in the vicinity of their assets. So there will be a separate discussion with PUC and Caltrains. CDD, they don't have any, that CDD is the water department. There is no, does not appear to affect any existing water infrastructure in that area. So they're okay, but they also sent their recommendation for approval. With that, I did receive a letter, an email from Caltran, and they were just asking, hey, have the Caltrain themselves discussed with Caltran? And then I got an email from Joy. She can tell us that they've been discussing with Caltran for any encroachment if there is a need. With that, I will conclude. And other than that, I haven't received any comments or objection for anybody.
Thank you so much. You just mentioned, but it was my question, a burning question. You are right under the 280. So that's Caltrans, and it didn't look like you had contacted Caltrans, but I think maybe the proponent will speak to that or whoever did this, because most likely you need an encroachment permit.
Yes.
and there's a certain procedure. But Caltrain and Caltrans, that used to be, I think, at one time one agency. I'm pretty sure that they have a history of working together. So hopefully that comes out during the hearing that has actually been taken
Yes.
care of.
Just that something, of course, when they start construction, today we're just talking about the major encroachment
Correct.
itself, but once they start doing construction, they will need encroachment permit from us, from SFMTA, and some other city agencies. And also, they need to make sure that they do notification. But that's after this process goes. That's too early to talk. Thank you.
You're welcome. So may I ask the project proponent to speak, Caltrain? Oh, over there.
Officer, my name is Joy Sharma, and I represent Caltrain here. So Burhani from DPW has pretty much covered everything. I'll answer your question regarding Caltrans. So yes, the project is under 280 and, oops, sorry. There you go. So yes, it's under the 280 overhead structure, and we have contacted Caltrans, and their right-of-way guys have confirmed that we don't need an encroachment permit since we are within our Caltrain easement. So we don't need any Caltrans easement since we are within the Caltrain right-of-way. It's very well within. We have also contacted their other functional groups like structures and hydraulics and geotech and maintenance, and they all have concurred. So we got one final email from them yesterday to which we replied. So we are waiting for their full concurrence. So that's the Caltrans status.
Thank you so much.
The project will go in construction in July or August, and it will complete next year by July or August 2021. So it's about 1 year project. That's all I have to add.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Is there a member from the public who would like to speak? Well then, since there's no member, I don't presume that Public Works wants to make any other statements.
Yes, of course, we've been going through this, but once the construction starts, SFMTA wants to make sure that they apply in advance and also notify the neighbors around there. There may be some parking lots that may be affected if there is a closure. So we need to make sure that Caltrains reach out to the neighbors to make sure that they're not affected by the project, or they reach out, let them know what's going on so they can plan on how to do their business or movements.
Okay. Thank you. I do not presume that member Caltrain would like to speak again, since there was really nothing new offered, or would you? No. Okay. Since there are no further remarks, I'm actually going to close this item and therefore going to close the hearing. Thank you very much.